Happy Tuesday, my friends. A Milwaukee man is behind bars today after evading the police for 4 months and is being charged with one of the worst cases of CA that Milwaukee police have ever seen. This, my friends, is a huge trigger warning. We're going to be talking about some disturbing things. So if you do not like these types or you cannot handle these types of stories, please do not watch. It's a very disturbing case. I don't even have enough words to describe what a monster this thing right here is. So this is 45-year-old Roman Moyes from Milwaukee. Now, like I said, for the past 4 months, he has been on the road, is finally behind bars tonight and charged with felony first-degree reckless homicide, 3 counts of chronic neglect of a child, and failure to report the death of a child after his son, his 12-year-old little son, was tortured to death. This little sweet thing is 12-year-old Jakari Robinson. Now, on October 10th, Jakari's body was found by his older brother in his father's home, which is that monster I just showed you, on the living room floor, wrapped in a blanket with a ripped up white t-shirt over his head. His brother says that he had no idea what was going on, until he saw a foot popping out from underneath the blanket, and he realized it was in fact his younger brother. Now, again, trigger warning here, as we're going to talk about exactly what happened to 12-year-old little Jakari. As I said, his older brother, Jordan Robinson, actually went to his father's home, that monster, I'm not even going to keep saying his name's home, after he was concerned because he hadn't seen his 12-year-old brother or heard from him in weeks now. Now, his father, that monster, kept making up excuses for the little 12-year-old boy, for little 12-year-old Jakari. Eventually, his older brother, Jordan, his 21-year-old brother Jordan and his girlfriend showed up at the house. When they got there, the house was empty. There was no one there. They walked inside the home, and Jordan said that immediately he was overwhelmed by a horrible smell. Like I said, they walked around the home for a little bit of time, looking into different rooms, and did not see anything or anyone at first. Then they saw a little foot sticking out from underneath a blue blanket laying in front of the living room. Again, his face was covered with a white t-shirt that was ripped up. Jordan says when he pulled that white t-shirt off of his brother's face, it was a sight that is going to scar him forever. Trigger warning. He said, and I quote, "My brother's face is half gone." Y'all, little 12-year-old Jakari's face was legitimately half eaten off by maggots. He had broken bones on his body, and he was so thin. He was so thin, so neglected, that he only weighed 54 pounds. Now, Raymond had 3 children. 2 of his other children lived with their biological mother. He said that he kept little Jakari because he was a problem child, and that he did in fact homeschool all 3 of his children. Now, the biological mother says that she had been trying to get a hold of her son Jakari for weeks as well, and every time she called or went looking for him, that the monster had some sort of an excuse for where he was or what he was doing. So she never really got the chance to talk to him. She said she hadn't spoken to him or seen him in weeks. Now, when police finally arrived at the home, as Jordan said, they were completely overwhelmed by this horrible smell. Not only that, there were feces all over the place. There was garbage piling up in the kitchen. There was a refrigerator that was working, but there was moldy food all in the refrigerator. There were moldy dishes in the sink, and in the living room, which was also a complete disaster, a mess filled with feces, all the things, there appeared to be empty soda bottles that looked to be filled with urine. Now, Jordan said that his father told him that he would allow his 2 other children to go out and play, to go out and do things, but he never allowed Jakari to do that because, again, he was trouble. Now, what exactly did Jakari get in trouble for? Allegedly, he got in trouble for taking food in the middle of the night because the poor little thing was starving to death. In addition, when police got there, little Jakari's grandmother, the monster's mother, was also on the scene. And she said she hadn't seen Jakari in like 6 years. In addition, she said that her son, this monster, Raymond, told her that he in fact had cancer, terminal cancer, and wasn't going to be around for much longer. Now, his mother says she doesn't know if she believes if that's true, and I highly doubt that's true. Actually, during one of the text messages that they exchanged, his mother and him, it said, his mother said, you need to turn yourself in. You are going to spend the rest of your life in prison, or something along the lines of that. And he said, well, your son's not going to be here for that much longer, so like it doesn't even matter. An autopsy that was done on 12-year-old little Jakari showed that he also had a fractured right humerus. And the medical examiner said that it was huge, the fracture, and that it was a very odd-shaped pattern. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but she also said that he had several ribs that were fractured. This monster, Raymond Moise, will be back in court on March 4th. If convicted, he faces a $45,000 fine and up to 82 years in prison. Y'all know what I think about that, and y'all know what I think his punishment should be. Anybody who touches a child's punishment should be the exact same. You guys, I want to know, as always, what you think about this case. I love to hear your comments and your thoughts, so let's discuss in the comments below.